As for the manual condition, right over here, that one is a little bit more complicated. The condition inside the switch, the basic condition, is basically the same. It'll print out to the LCD screen a message, RGB manual, press button to start. It doesn't say press, but it's what it means. And it'll only start running the respective function after main button is pressed. Now, as soon as the function starts, the function is right down over here. Right over here, the RGB function, which is the manual function. I start reading the joystick's values, the X-axis and on the Y-axis down below. The X-axis, just as I use above in the main sequence of different menus appearing, I use the same logic over here. So each time I move the joystick in the X-axis, I change my color option between three different colors. Over here you can between the red, green and blue. You see over here on these two if conditions, I constrain the value between 0 and 2. 0 counts as a number 2, so 0 is red, 1 is green, 2 is blue. And then so then I go through these three if conditions, and they serve so that I can have displayed to the LCD the color option that I am working on. As you saw in the video, only one color shows at a time, and that is because of these three if conditions. So if my RGB color option determined over here on these two if conditions with the joystick, if it is zero, I will print on the LCD that I am working with the color red. If it is 1, I'm working with the color green. If it is 2, I'm working with the color blue. And that will be displayed on the LCD, so it makes it easier for whoever is working it, for me, to work on the different colors. Now, I print all of the colors repeatedly. They are always on the screen. They are always displayed. And so over here, over here is in these two if blocks is where I use the joystick of the Y axle to move the colors, to change the color's intensity by 1. I can change that by 5, by 10, but by 1 is enough. It already changes pretty quickly, as you see. Or in other words, in these two if blocks is where I change the PWM that is being written down here to the LEDs, to the color LEDs. On these two if blocks, I constrain the values of the PWM between 0 and 255. And here is where I write the values that have been selected and switched on the RGB LED. And obviously here, just like the last sketch, if I press the joystick, here we go, if I press the joystick, the menu option will turn to 0, and it will leave this cycle, allowing me to return. It'll actually return automatically to the main screen, which is the clock, to which is case 0. The menu option over here, as you can see. So this is a sketch for the RGB involved aspects of this project. Oh, the last detail is in the loop. I can turn off the light if I press the main button, and I do that over here. It is actually the first if condition now. So if I press the main button, I can change the menus and I will turn off the lights. I can, as you see, I will be able to leave to the main menu, to the clock, and other menus with the RGB on with the same values that were selected previously. But if in case I want to move in between menus and have the RGB light off, I can simply press the main button, which will lower it to 0, and the sketch will write to each color RGB the value of 0, switching them off. And so this is the sketch, part of it.